Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2021 EEN Green and ICT Brokerage event. We hope that you had a great time in the B2B matchmaking event. Today is the first day of the ICT webinar. For this session, we have invited industry experts from the European Commission and the Industrial Technology Research Institute in Taiwan. And with us today, we also have guests from 4 enterprises from both the EU and Taiwan. We hope that you enjoy today's webinar and that you gain a lot from this event. Now, let's please welcome Executive Director of Market Development at Taitra, Mr. Felix Cho, and Chair of the Sector Group ICT at EEN, Mr. Kostas Karamanis. They will be delivering today's opening remarks.
Chair of the Enterprise Euro Network ICT Industry and Service Sector Group, Mr. Karamani Kostas. Distinguished speaker, the EEN community, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to our friends in Euro and good afternoon to our friends in Taiwan. It's me again, Felix. I hope you had a great experience joining us in the Green webinar a few days ago and have had a fruitful result in the B2B matchmaking thus far. Also, the conference is about to close. I am still excited to introduce the last section of our event, which is the ICT webinar. The EU's priority under the new European Commission agenda on digitalization and green can potentially increase collaboration opportunity between both regions. Taiwan is home to one of the most well-developed IT industry globally, such that ICT products account for over 50% of Taiwan's exports. Taiwan is also home to Hidden Champion, which are large Taiwanese companies that produce high-tech products for well-known international brands. It's also worth mentioning that Taiwan's industry base is strong enough to impact the global green tech sector. Green tech is a catch-all term for an array of technology that aim to mitigate the effects of human activity on the environment, either through more environmentally friendly manufacturing process or supply chain. Taiwan has leveraged its strengths in semiconductor fabrication into related green technology, which is one of the reasons why we are here today. We have an expert from the Industry Technology Research Institute, who will deliver a speech during the webinar on the most influential sector in Taiwan. It's also our great honor to invite the speaker from the European Commission to discuss the latest trend and developments in the EU's green and tech sector. In addition, success stories from enterprise are essential for current and future collaboration. Therefore, we hope that the speaker's experience and knowledge can also benefit all of you. Please look forward to it and enjoy it. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'm Kostas Karamanis from Greece, a member of the Enterprise Europe Network and its chairman of the ICT Sector Group. It's my pleasure to be here giving the opening remarks for the EEN Taiwan event. We know that the collaboration between Taiwan and the EU is important, especially in the ICT sector. Both entities could gain significant benefits and complement each other through the bilateral collaboration. This is the main reason why we are here. In recent years, the EU aims especially at the digital transition, the green technologies, and the sustainability. The network serves the EU vision following the EU policies and supporting EU activities. And we provide specific services in these fields. Our extensive network supports companies to find international partnerships to innovate and grow. Our services are well designed and offered for free. The EEN network is no doubt one of the best platforms that provides opportunities for companies to meet and collaborate. Therefore, we would like to encourage you to contact us to learn more. For our friends in Taiwan, we would like to encourage them to contact our trustworthy partner, EEN Taiwan. I look forward to having more business opportunities and visiting Taiwan in person in the near future. Wishes for fruitful meetings to all. Thank you.
Many thanks to Felix and Kostas, our distinguished guests, for giving us these great opening remarks. We all appreciate your support in facilitating this event, and I believe it will further enhance cooperation and collaboration between Taiwan and Europe. And now it's our great honor to welcome our first speaker today, Mr. Ray Yang, who is a consulting and business director of Industry, Science and Technology International Strategy Center at ITRI. He will be presenting the topic on Taiwan semiconductor industry outlook.
Hello, welcome to joining this session. I'm going to share with you about the Taiwan semiconductor industry outlook. Before talking about Taiwan semiconductor industry, actually give you some overview about the organization I'm working for, meaning ITRI, Industrial Technology Research Institute. Actually, there is a very, very close relationship between ITRI and the Taiwan semiconductor industry. ITRI actually is the Taiwan's largest and one of the world's leading high-tech applied research institutions, like the Fraunhofer, CA Leyte, IMEC in Europe. Actually, it's a quite same level, okay? And ITRI actually is the largest one in Taiwan. And currently, there are over 6,000 people in ITRI, and more than 20% is with PhD, okay? And of course, I mean, ITRI actually now we have offices in San Jose, the States. In Europe, actually, we have Berlin's office as well as Andover's office in Netherlands, okay? And of course, Tokyo, Moscow, we all have our local people there. Okay, so why there's any relationship between ITRI and semiconductor industry? Actually, in the actually 2 years from now, ITRI is going to celebrate our birthdays, okay, with 50 years, okay? So actually, ITRI in the last 48 years, ITRI fosters a lot of industries in Taiwan. The first one actually is semiconductor industry. Why? Currently in the Taiwan semiconductor industry, we also call the leading companies called TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Industry Corporation, TSMC. TSMC actually is one of the spin-offs from ITRI, as well as another company called UMC. Okay, UMC and the TSMC actually both are were the spin-offs of ITRI. Okay, so you might know the founders of TSMC. Previously the chairman of TSMC, Morris Chang. Morris Chang actually was the president as well as the chairman of ITRI 30 years ago. Okay, so this is so I'm on behalf of ITRI to share with you and give you some overview about Taiwan semiconductor industry. Okay, as you can see here, the Taiwan semiconductor industry actually is one of the most important sectors to contribute to Taiwan GDP. As you can see, actually concerning the value add as well as the capital spending, semiconductor is the largest in Taiwan. Relatively speaking, the Taiwan semiconductor industry's contribution to Taiwan, the whole country's GDP, is around 9%, almost 10%. And if you consider the whole manufacturing sector of Taiwan's GDP contribution by the manufacturing sector of Taiwan is around 1/3, meaning around the 32%. So meaning the only semiconductor industry in Taiwan actually accounts for around 1/4 or more than 25% of the manufacturing sector. The only one semiconductor industry actually accounts for the more than 25% of the whole Taiwan manufacturing sector. So as you know how important it is, the Taiwan semiconductor industry. Okay, if looking at the global semiconductor industry competitiveness, actually currently this is the figure from last year, 2020. The Taiwan's semiconductor industry actually ranked number 2 next to the States. Well, actually in the last few years, sometimes Korea is the number 2, we are number 3. And sometimes, last year, we now back to the number 2 next to the US. So this is why actually from the end of last year to the beginning of this year, actually there is a big issue in the worldwide economy sector, meaning the chip shortage, especially for automotive industry and the market. And then a lot of countries, the CEO or even the very high-profile government officials coming to Taiwan or asking for Taiwan's help. And now you know that why the Taiwan semiconductor industry's importance and how we are playing the major role for the worldwide ICT as well as the economic sectors. Actually, as you might know, that talking about the semiconductor industry, there are a variety of business models in Europe, or let's say even in Japan. Let me put it this way, or especially Europe. Actually, most of the semiconductor companies are, we call it IDM, integrated device manufacturer, such as Infineon, NXP, or ST Microelectronics, or even Bosch. Okay, so actually most of the European semiconductor companies are IDM or with IDM business model. However, in Taiwan, actually also, of course, because of TSMC, what I just mentioned. TSMC back to 40 years ago, whatever, and just established a quite new business model and didn't go to the traditional IDM business. And then TSMC was the first to conduct a totally new business model. We called it pure foundry. Okay. So currently, up till today, TSMC actually not only produce the chips for, let's say, Apple, the Apple's application processors. Apple is a system house, or the NVIDIA or AMD is a fabulous company, IC Design, as well as NXP. NXP actually is also one of the TSMC's customers. TSMC produced the microcontroller chips for NXP. So actually, not only the IDM or fabless or even system house, and recently there is a press release from Intel. Intel is IDM, But Intel also, outsourced some of their semiconductor devices to TSMC to produce. So actually, Taiwan's foundry services company really serve the worldwide customers. So now you know how important our foundries is for the worldwide ICT companies. Okay, the sets actually is like the independent packaging house. After foundry, after the chip fabrication, you need to give to the packaging and testing companies to package them, to test them. So actually in Taiwan, there are also a lot of sets companies like ASE, okay, ASE and the Spill. And they also serve the worldwide companies to do the packaging job. Okay, here, as you can see, last year in 2020, the whole Taiwan semiconductor industry really is very prominent, and we really enjoy. Even there was a pandemic, but last year the Taiwan IC industry reaches a record high of around 110 billion, okay, US dollars. And how about this year? This year actually we continue to grow. And my team, expect that this year the whole Taiwan semiconductor industry will reach almost $140 billion, $140 billion, 136 billion US dollars in this year. So actually, there are 2 consecutive years. Last year, we enjoy more than 20%. This year, the same. Even close to 25% growth. This is Taiwan semiconductor industry. So now you can see the value, production value, the distribution. As I just mentioned, the foundry is really one of the most important subsegment of the Taiwan semiconductor industry, contribute almost 50% of the total output value. So because of, as I just mentioned, because of our unique foundry business model to serve the worldwide, no matter your system house like Apple, like Microsoft, or Google, or no matter what your fabless company like NVIDIA, AMD, or IDM like NSP from Europe, Intel from the States, or Renesas from Japan, or outsource their chips to Taiwan to produce for them. Okay, so actually not only this. So this is why not only the system house, IC design houses, as you can see, Qualcomm, Microsoft, Google, Intel, as well as a lot of leading semiconductor equipment and material companies all come to Taiwan to build further and more close relationships with the whole Taiwan integrated circuit IC ecosystem. Okay, so this is the current status of Taiwan IC industry. So okay, we really achieved a lot in the last 30 to 40 years since TSMC UMC spun off from E3. So how we are going to grow further to grasp more opportunities in the next decades. Okay, so actually from last year, 2020, there is a very, very important initiative in Taiwan. We call it Armstrong Semiconductor Initiative. Very, very important. We hope that through this very, very special and unique initiative, especially tailor-made for Taiwan semiconductor industry's future. We would like to expedite the exploratory research on the first, extending physical scaling limit devices, as well as very, very advanced semiconductor materials. For example, the low dimensional, for example, two-dimensional. Currently, most of the semiconductor companies are using the so-called third dimensional, okay, XYZ, the third dimensional. But the emerging material is a two-dimensional, even very low dimensional, even one-dimensional. And as well as the angstrom scale resolution process monitoring techniques, all will be incubated and developed and researched in Taiwan. Not only that, we would like to extend our reach to very, very ultra low power edge AI processor, which actually the Horizon Europe also have the same direction. And for example, there is also very, very important initiative in EU getting the funding from the Horizon Europe to also develop the ultra low power edge AI processor. So actually, I think that there will be opportunity to collaborate with each other. I mean, the Taiwan and the EU to grasp, to make the breakthrough, especially for the AIoT, as well as the edge AI processor. Okay, so not only this, but also in Taiwan, through the angstrom initiative, we also developed heterogeneous integration platform, as well as wide bandgap semiconductors. Later on, I'm going to share with you what is the wide bandgap. But actually, in Europe, not only in Europe, in Japan, in the States, they also put a lot of resources to develop the next generation new semiconductor materials or devices. We call it wide bandgap. Okay. So first, going to share with you how we are going to conduct or what we're going to conduct the research on the edge AI processors. Actually, we clearly position ourselves to focus on developing the edge AI processors in order to collaborate with the international companies in the other subsectors of the all AI regime or ecosystems. So, for example, here we not only focus on the AIoT, or meaning AI plus IoT, or edge AI, in order to partner with the global cloud service providers or data center vendors, providers, as well as the apps companies or training platforms companies such as NVIDIA, in order to really bring to the no matter B2B or B2C customers to really enjoy the AI's capability in order to facilitate their work, their life, whatever. So we are going to target at the edge AI processors. As you can see, there is a lot of very, very critical challenges or issues or needs to realize the real edge AI processors. For example, we need to have very, very low power consumptions. Here, the event is a Green&ICT. So actually, talking about the edge AI processors, it's really ICT meets green. Okay. So here, under the whole Taiwan angstrom semiconductor initiative, as I just mentioned, there is a specific program called AI on Chip. So in Taiwan, actually 2 years ago, our government, together with academia, with the industry, with the like E3 Research Institute, to build AI on Chip Taiwan Alliance. Also, we all together developed the key technologies as well as to accelerate the AI chip development through international collaboration. For example, actually, Synopsys. Synopsys actually is the largest and the leading EDA tool for the chip design. Okay, it's a software company and it's a leading one in Europe. You might know Mental Graphics. Okay, so the number one in EDA segment is a Synopsys. Synopsys make very, very close collaboration with the whole AI-on-chip program in Taiwan. Okay, then I just mentioned another key segment under Armstrong Semiconductor Initiative is wide bandgap semiconductors. As you can see, currently in Taiwan, what I just mentioned to you, give you the update about the Taiwan semiconductor industry achievement is most are silicon-based. Okay? And of course, now in Taiwan, there are also some companies in the semiconductor arena to produce the chips based on indium phosphide, as you can see, and gallium arsenide. Okay, the gallium arsenide now is a very, very key material to produce the RF front end as well as a power amplifier for the smartphones. Okay, however, for the next decades, the wide bandgap semiconductors are crucially important, including silicon carbide and the gallium nitride. Actually, both of these wide bandgap semiconductors in Europe, you also achieve a lot, and you are also leading. So maybe in the future, in the wide bandgap semiconductors, there also will be also very good opportunities to collaborate with each other. I mean, Taiwan and Europe. Okay, here you can see not only the gain on silicon carbide for 5G infrastructure, for example, base stations, or silicon carbide transistors, power MOSFET for the especially electric vehicle. You are the number one, okay, in Germany. Okay, a lot of very, very good leading car manufacturer to go into the electric vehicle opportunities. So actually, inside of the future vehicle, electric vehicle, especially BEV, battery-driven EV, it will need a lot of wide bandgap semiconductors. This is why for the next 5 to 10 years, Taiwan semiconductor companies, we achieve a lot based on silicon. Now we are going to achieve more in the wide bandgap semiconductors. Okay, so from this year, under Armstrong Initiative, there is a very, very special program called RFGAN. So we developed the gallium nitride devices based on the silicon substrate as well as the silicon carbide substrate in order to produce next generation power amplifier. I believe one of you might feel interested if you would like to collaborate with Taiwan, not only the silicon-based, not only the AI age processor, but also wide bandgaps. Welcome to Taiwan. Okay, here is my conclusion. Taiwan semiconductor industries, especially high resilience, with very, very well organized integrated ecosystem and the clusters, especially during the pandemic last year and this year, we still have 2 consecutive years record high growth, and is expected to achieve actually 4 trillion NT dollars, meaning 136 billions in this year. It's really a good achievement and outperformed to worldwide semiconductor industry. But in order to upgrade international partnerships, as I've just mentioned, and to increase our international partners' value add in Taiwan, we really and sincerely welcome your active participation in Taiwan's new semiconductor initiatives, I just mentioned, Armstrong, in order to grow together with the whole Taiwan IC ecosystem, in order to grasp and get access the emerging business opportunities in the next decade. Thank you for your listening. Thank you, and hope to see you soon somewhere. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray, for giving this incredible informative presentation. And to our participants, we hope you gained a lot of useful information. After Mr. Yang's talk, I'm sure that you all now know the development of Taiwan's semiconductor industry much better. With strong R&D and manufacturing capabilities, as well as intellectual property rights protection, Taiwan is an ideal and strategic destination for international companies and investors looking for reliable partners in the global technology ecosystem. Computex is one of the world's leading ICT, IoT, and startup business platforms that will take place next year in June. Hopefully, we will see you all there in person. Now, before the next section starts, I would like to show you a video about Computex 2022. Please enjoy.
Have you noticed? The rules of the world seem to have changed. An invisible treasure chest now guards your digital self. Your brainstorming partner is no longer human. It is artificial intelligence. There are no limits to your creativity. Esports is now a sport and a profession. There is a more comprehensive mind-body approach to medicine. Everywhere, from the seen to the unseen, from cities to your surroundings, technology is transforming your tomorrow. And I am the power of change. Computex.
If you have any questions regarding Computex 2022, please contact the Taitra Exhibition Department. And next, we have two guests from two different Taiwanese enterprises who will be sharing their experience in the green tech sector. Now, let's welcome Mr. Scott Sun, who is manager of Device and Connectivity Group Industrial IoT at Advantech. His talk today is titled Driving Digital Transformation to Create a Successful and Sustainable Business.
Hello, this is Scott from Advantech Industrial IoT Group. It's my pleasure today to have a brief introduction about Advantech and share some application with you to hope we can work together in the future. Here is some brief introduction of Advantech. Our headquarters is based in Taiwan. Our mission is enabling an intelligent planet. So as you can see, we focus on the several different domain for vertical market, like Industrial 4.0, embedded computing, smart city, like including the medical, retail, logistics. So we serve worldwide IoT solution partners with us. You can see we are not only focused in Asia. We are a global company. We have over 27 countries. We have our own branch office. So our manufacturing is in Taiwan and China. But we have 4 major logistics centers. That means you can ship your product in the worldwide with us. So that means because we are a computer company, so that means in the future you have a different configuration. We can help you to assembly, hold up, or customize your configuration in regions. Okay, so that means in the future your customer want to ship the product or equipment to North America. We can help you to assemble the product in North America with our logistics center. And also we have our service center. That means we provide our technical support. We provide our IMA service in region. So that means you don't worry about a product in worldwide. When you have any problem, you can get in contact with Advantech in local. Okay, so why here at Advantech? Here you can see every year, this is the IoT one. They will survey with a different engineer or their customer. Now, in 2021, Advantech is top 10 companies for the IIoT. So you can see, if you are looking for a product for an industrial or different IoT application, you can just come to us. We can provide a different kinds of application and service with you. Okay, so why we talk about the digital transformation as our main topic here? Because you know that COVID-19, that people are looking for to speed up or looking for some way to do the digital transformation. Okay, so there you can see some data from the Gartner report. So let's show us why we need some partner or some ecosystem to help us to do the digital transformation. Okay, so Advantech, some of you maybe hear that we are the computer company. However, we are not only focused on the computer. We are doing the AI. We are doing the cellular communication. We also have the data acquisition. So we have still invest our resources to develop the new technology with our product. Here you can see some different products. But before that, I am talking about the technology. Here is our vertical. We want to focus. The first one is the general automation. That means like the edge solution, the data acquisition. You can in the manufacturing, in the different kinds of IoT application that we call the general automation. Okay, that will help you to do the system integrate. Okay, another one is the EEN market. That means the intelligent equipment maker. Okay, so that means if you are the equipment maker, you are looking for some computer, some machine control component, or data acquisition. We also have a suitable solution for you. The third one is the iFactory, not only for the equipment, but also for the facility monitoring, for the energy management in the factory, or distribution management. Okay, you can find the different computer, IoT gateway, serial router that help you to collect the data from the field and send the data, send the information to the cloud, to your control center, so help you to analyze the data. The last one is we call the industrial infra. That means we combine the energy, transportation, and the environment into this sector, because this is more like the public tender you are focused. So in here, we provide the different vertical product. That means with the different certification for the transportation, for the power and energy. So you can find the right product with us. Okay, here is the overview in IIoT group. Here you can see from the edge sensing to the edge computer, we offer the different kinds of the product. And also not only the hardware, but also we provide a different software that can save you your time and cost. You can to get the application-ready solution from Advantech directly. So you have the SCADA solution, you have a data acquisition you need. You can even a wireless solution. You can find a suitable one from here. Okay, so let's talk about the technology. Yeah, Advantech is one partner from with the NVIDIA in the industrial application. So you can see we offer several kinds of the computer, from the box PC to the server grade, that can help your to develop the AI application, to do the AI training, to do the inference at the edge side. So also we do some pre-install or pre-test AI framework with our product. So that means you don't need to from the beginning. You can just pick one of the tool you already familiar with. So you can just choose what the kind of the platform, hardware solution you need, and you can use those products into your solution. And also we have the vision solution that can help you to do the AOI, for example. Okay. And when we talk about the manufacturing, OPC UA is one of the hot topic in the industrial, especially on the communication. Okay, so here we provide a different edge solution, like the EEN small module. That is our first, I think this is the world first small devices to support OPC UA and the data acquisition. You can select the different analog input or digital input, different configuration, and send the data back to your SCADA or back to your cloud solution by OPC UA. For sure, we have the controller, we have platform, gateway, even HMI. That is a total solution with support OPC UA. So you can direct to see which layer, which level you want to, you are looking for the solution. Advantage, we can provide a suitable product for you. Okay, as I mentioned that we are not only for the computing, but also the communication and the ICT technology. So here, we work with the Ericsson, we work with the several carrier company in Europe, like the Orange, Telefonica, Vodafone, that we are working a 5G solution. So here is our 5G router with the software manager tool. So one is a VPN solution to provide you the security networking for your data communication. Another one is a DMP. That means that device management platform. So you can imagine that all of the device is deployed in the field, and they are distributed with a distributed equipment. So that means you need one central platform to provide the management function to help you to monitor each equipment, no matter the data traffic, the status of each device. So our DMP is the tool to help you to manage the device in the field. And the VPN is provide the security network. So here that's why I mentioned that Advantech is not only a hardware provider, we provide a whole solution for your application. Okay, for sure that wireless is a hot topic in the industrial. Okay, so that, for example, LoRaWAN, that is the low power consumption wireless technology. We support we offer the not only sensor node and also the gateway for the industrial connection. Sometimes you can, if you already have a LoRaWAN network, you can just pick our sensor node, like a WISE2410. That is the vibration sensor to help you to monitor the rotating machine, okay, to know the status or his health of his working. And for the gateway, we provide the industrial protocol, like the Modbus. And also we offer the no-rate integration with our WISE6610. Okay, so that means you can very easily to use our software to integrate your SCADA software by industrial protocol. Not only LoRaWAN, but also like the NB-IoT or Cat-M or like the Wi-Fi. So we offer several different kinds of wireless technology to fulfill different range or different scope you want to implement your solution at the field. Okay, so here, Advantech, we are also develop our edge software we call the Edge Link. So you can imagine from the name, we provide the function, we provide the software to help you to collect the data from the field devices, like the PLC, meter, or any third-party device by industrial protocol. And also, Edge Link can help you to process the data at the field side. You can do some logic, you can do some decision at the field in real time. And then you can send those information to the cloud directly without any gateway or router. So that is the useful tool. That means with you can easily to integrate with our edge devices or edge computer with without any coding. It just all by configure, and then you can send the data from the edge to cloud. Okay, so it can help you to do the equipment monitoring, or you can integrate your cloud manager tool, platform, or ERP MES solution. And for sure that you can help you to do the all the application you want. Okay, so the last section I want to share with you, I think is the most important one, is about our application. Those are the real successful cases we did in Europe with our partner. At Advantech, we are the B2B company. So that means sometimes we will direct work with the end user, but most of the time we work with system integrator. That they can help, they can do some value-added solution, or they can focus on some vertical market, okay, like the energy, like transportation. That's kind of a vertical market they can work with us. Okay, so let me share with you. The first one is about the greenhouse. As you know, that smart agriculture is a hot topic that in worldwide, no matter in Japan, in Europe, or in North America, that people want to monitor the status, no matter the humidity, temperature. So here we offer the different solution, and also as you can see, WISE 2410, you can monitor the water pump. You can see the status of the machine. So you can have develop your own application from in the smart devices to monitor all the data and do some dashboard to show the status in the greenhouse. Okay, the second one is about the lottery machine. As you can imagine, that those kind of the machine, they are distributed in the implement in the cities. So they are maybe like the ATM. That is another example. There are maybe thousands ATM machine in one city. So how we can make sure the reliable and the security communication from the equipment to the central control center. So that here why we offer our ICR solution. And I want to highlight here is our ICR product division is in Czech Republic. So that means you can work with our team directly, very close, and our manufacturing is in there. So that means not only design, but also for the manufacturing, logistics, you can get very real-time support from our division. So here, that's why I want to show you, if you are looking for any ICT requirement, no matter 4G, 5G, or any LPWAN solution you are looking for, you can direct contact us to find the suitable product with you. Okay, the third one is the emerging application. Okay, so here is another example to show you the wireless communication in the field. So you can see any emergent case you get in the field or from the people, you need to transfer the data back to the call center and arrange any resources to take some action. So how we can set up the real-time communication and make sure all the communication is in real time. So that's why our solution is the best solution for you. Okay, not only the energy, water is another, I think, a very long value chain. So you can find a lot of the different business opportunity. Okay, so here is for the water monitoring, like the flow rate, level sensor. You want to collect the different status from the river or from the water, or like I was mentioned, like water pump in cities. So here is some RTU solution, remote terminal unit solution, which provide you the modular design. Okay, here you can combine the different I/O module to offer you the analog or digital data acquisition. And also we have the small runtime, the RISC CPU inside. So you can develop your own program, your algorithm to analyze the data or to do some to do some logic control, okay? And even do the remote communication to your control center. So here the solution provide you the computing, data collection, and the communication. We call the 3C. Okay, so I think this is another one we focus on the energy management. Okay, so I think that energy, not only the energy consumption, how we do the energy saving, but also we want to monitoring energy consumption with each equipment. Okay, so that's another application we did in Europe with our SCADA software. We call it Web Access. This solution to help you to do the data collection and do the dashboard to show you the real-time performance of energy or your equipment. So that help you to do the energy saving. And also another one is we also focus on the renewable energy. So with the same software, you may deploy the different one of two gateway in the field to collect the data from the inverter, solar inverter, or power meter. we can do the solar power management solution. So here we can do the whole energy chain from the power generation or energy distribution, and then we can do the energy monitoring. So here is we can you can work with Advantech to use our product and your own software, your domain know-how, okay, in the different vertical market. Okay, so I think the last one I want to show you is our long-term collaboration business model. Yeah, I think Advantech is over 30 years company. The first stage, for sure, we focus on the hardware manufacturing. We design thousands embedded system and the platform and sell to customer. Right now, we get a very good in the market. But right now, we want to do the phase 2 and the phase 3, and plan to do the phase 3 business. In the phase 2, we want to work with our partner. They may be our customer before, but right now we want to recruit them become our partner. We want to co-create the solution, because we still focus on our hardware, but we know some solution, some value added, we must come from our partner, come from our system integrator. So we want to combine this solution, just focus on one of the two domains, and then we can help you to sell this solution to worldwide. So that's what we call co-develop and co-selling. Okay, no matter the edge solution, or if your target is the software only, you are the ISV, independent software vendor. We also have our WISE-PaaS, that is our cloud solution, provide a different platform, different component on the cloud with Azure. So you can move your solution to WISE-PaaS to create your application and selling with our sales in worldwide. Okay, the first 3 is we want to integrate the application with a cloud solution. So currently, I think at this moment it's just the beginning to have the solution with some cloud, no matter the Azure or our WISE-PaaS. But right now, I think in the coming future, people will more rely on the whole cloud solution. So that's why we want to incubate some domain-focused solution integrators. That means that they are not only managing 1 or 2 field, and they are managing a whole different site, different solution with our cloud solution. Okay, so here I can, we are welcome to invite you to join us to, no matter to purchase our hardware product only, or you can cooperation with us to make a whole solution in a different vertical. Okay, I think that is my last page. So here we have the barcode to have some simple form that you can get more detailed information about Advantech, or you can contact us for any detailed information or any interesting you want. Okay, thank you. This is my presentation. Thanks.
Thanks, Scott, for delivering such a remarkable presentation. Next, we are glad to invite Mr. Clement Dieudonné, who is Corporate Strategy Director at UBIC. He will be presenting on how Taiwan deploys its electricity smart grid and how they accommodate the rise of renewable and EVs. Mr. Clement, the floor is now yours.
Hi, my name is Clement. I'm from UBIC. And in this presentation, I will go over the topic of the smart grid of Taiwan and how UBIC has contributed with its technology and solutions to making Taipower, Taiwan smart grid, more green and more efficient. There will be two parts of the presentation. The first one is to look over the trend in Taiwan for electricity smart grid. And we'll go over the specific use case of Taiwan Power. The second part will be over UBIC solutions and technologies, and to go over a bit more details about the specific products which are being used in collaborations with other solution providers overseas, for example, in Europe. So let's jump right in. So the situation in Taiwan has been for electricity metering to improve, to go from manual electricity, water or gas metering to the latest version, which is called Advanced Metering Infrastructure. So in the past, you would have people knocking on people's doors to manually read the counters, the meters, to understand every month or every 2 months the electricity bill, for example. This has a lot of disadvantages. It's costly, it's not very good with social distancing, and you don't have enough data to then pave the way for a number of the new big data and AI applications that can take into account those kinds of data from consumption. So fast forward to now, what Taipower has done for Taiwan is to actually create an advanced metering infrastructure overall project that I'm going to go over. This is true for Taiwan, but also true for the rest of other utilities in the world. And until now, either manual solution will be done or wired or cellular connections. They have drawbacks in terms of costs or as well in terms of performance. So there's been new solutions recently, and the case study that we're going over is exactly the tender that Taiwan Power, the government, and the utility have been going through after several years of research. So this tender has been divided into 3 parts for Taiwan. The first one is the meters, the counting device for electricity itself. The second part is the network. So this includes the communication module that connects and controls the meters, the infrastructure to connect them wirelessly, and the middleware software to prepare the data for the billing software, AI, and analytics. So this is what we're going to go deeper in. And the last part of the tender by Taipower was about the billing software. So the requirements that Taipower has put out for anybody who wanted to provide their solution with has been to have 4 times an hour automatic reading on the meters through wireless communication. And this reading is obviously 4 times an hour, so this is much more than just one time or a month or one time every 2 months. So you get much more data. You get data about billing, you get power quality, you'll get data about events, if there's any situations like power on or off or tempering, things of that nature. So you have a lot of requirements based on measuring data from those electricity meters that are into homes, they are into commercial buildings or industrial facilities. Not only that, Taipower tender also aims to control the devices. They can reboot them, they can update their firmware over the air, they can specifically request data and control them. And all of this needs to be done with more than 95% success rate overall, which is a challenge when you talk about hundreds of thousands of electricity meters, some of them being into very hard to reach areas. On top of this, you have requirements in terms of security, that mutual authentication is very important, and encryption, and the ability to be able to restore power very quickly in terms of a typhoon or other kinds of large events like this. Why all of this? Well, it's because it's really the building blocks for a utility, power distributor type of company to really better balance supply and demand for energy. The supply coming from generation, coal, nuclear, wind, PV, more and more renewables in the mix are actually putting more drain and wear and tear on the electricity distribution grid. And on the other side, you have the consumption side, which is homes, shopping malls, commercial buildings, factories. So you want to have a better match between those supply and demand for power to save energy, save costs, and pave the way for additional renewables as well as the advent of EV charging. The solution has been in this tender to provide a communication network that is reliable, that can at the best cost as possible provide this level of performance, security, and this bidirectional communication between the meters and the analytical software. UBIC has done that by deploying a dedicated private network for the utility, just like a telecom operator. It's a private dedicated network operating at a special frequency that is licensed in Taiwan. It's around 840 megahertz, which enables no interference and maximum transmit power. so that those electricity meters, which are in hard-to-reach areas in some of cases, can be more easily and more accurately being monitored, controlled, and managed. So what UBIC has done in this case, we came with a hybrid network. Most of the areas covered for now in Taiwan are cities. So it's dense urban areas. For this, we use a private dedicated network when we deploy our own infrastructure. And a smaller part of that is in the countryside. We'll use a public cellular network, NB-IoT or LTE Cat1. The way what it looks like is now you have those meters installed in corridors, in staircases, in underground parking lots, and we will install a communication module. It's either in homes, or in buildings, or in factories, or sometimes on top of homes where PV installations are there as well. So the meter can both actually monitor the consumption, but also the generation. This has been done with a new technology called weightless. It's a low-power, wide area network. The specificities of weightless as a technology, which has been the winning bid for this tender 3 years in a row, and having UBIC becoming a leading supplier for this technology in Taiwan, is that as a low-power wide area network technology, you can cover a very large scale, large range, as well as a large capacity of the network. That means it's not just about the range, whether it's indoor, in urban area, or in some cases in a countryside. It's also about the number of devices each of the antennas, the gateways can cover, and the amount of traffic you get within that particular cellular network. That is the number of messages a day or an hour, and the payload that each of them have. So this actually technology is a very good fit between what it can provide in terms of performance, scalability, with the requirements of Taipower for this particular project. That is to have a fairly large coverage, as well as the level of reliability to be able to provide mission-critical kind of service level. With an average number of 1,000 electricity meters per base station, you can minimize the amount of gateways you have to go ahead and deploy in the field in order to deploy that particular network. So with this in mind, using this technology, it has really helped UBIC to go from releasing this technology now 4 years ago in 2017 to starting to win the tenders from Taipower every year, 3 years in a row, from 18, 2019, as well as 2020. So all in all, as of now, UBIC has under contracts about 600,000 meters to deploy, and has deployed between 300 and 400,000 of them already. They include pretty much the different topologies. So you can be in the streets, you could be in a particular underground areas or large condos. Now let's go over the deployments just like if you were walking in the streets of Taipei. So some of those electricity meters are actually just at the first level. So you will see them. The old versions are mechanical, the new versions are electrical. And those new versions are modular in the sense that companies like UBIC will provide a communication module that goes and fits into that meter. When we do the installation, this is precisely what our team are doing. So we'll register the meter and the connectivity module. We will geolocate this with GPS and provide a particular table that associates the electricity meter with the communication module all the way down to having a unique identifier with the end management software. So that's on the end device. So we say that in most of the cases, we actually go ahead and deploy our own private deployment in the cities. So our teammates will go ahead and deploy base stations, or it's also called data concentrator units or gateways, in particular areas so that we can cover to our service level agreements those electricity meters. So it could be on poles, it could be on top of real estate of Taipower, such as transformer, particular towers, or in some cases still also inside the buildings. There's different regions that Taipower has granted UBIC as far as the tender goes to deploy first. They started with the south of Taiwan, then expanded to New Taipei, Taichung, also a little bit of Taidong, and so on and so forth. Actually, this project is about to connect 6 million meters by the end of the decade. So it started now 3-4 years ago with a small to medium size, and every year the project is going larger and larger. This, to date, is the biggest plan for electricity AMI, advanced metering infrastructure. That's the biggest IoT deployment to date in Taiwan. The biggest challenge you can get is large new buildings or condos, because all of the electricity meters are into a meter room. So there's none of the space, and it might not make sense for you to just deploy an antenna, a gateway just for that. So UBIC has come up with a slight improvement or modification of the technology for that particular topology, where one of the meters itself becomes the gateway. So the range won't be as big, but actually it will be able to use a private weightless LP1 to connect electricity, gas, and water meters for the same condo, and then use one of the meters equipped with a backhaul that then is being seen by the management software just like all of the other installations. So this is one of the things that are important to do to adapt with the topology of the network. So today we have gone over the use case of the typical big trend we see in Taiwan about basically intersecting IoT, wireless networks, and green power to enable those new generations of analytics, EVs, PVs, and integration of wind power, for example. We went over the specific use case of Taipower and their biggest IoT project for the decade to come, and how UBIC has used our particular skills, capabilities in terms of private network deployment and hardware production and installation and service for software integration to render actually a total turnkey solution. This is true for what UBIC has done in Taiwan. But the kinds of collaborations we do overseas, in Japan, in Southeast of Asia, in the US and Europe, in this case, we actually at UBIC would provide some of those building blocks that we have integrated ourselves into products. So we will provide particular communication modules and or radio communication equipment to deploy a network, whether it's weightless or LTE, NB-IoT or LTE-M and so forth. We will provide that to our partners, for example, in Europe, in order for them to also intersect IoT, wireless networking, and either green power and or factory automation. So this is the kind of business model that we have with our partners, for example, in Europe, where we would provide the communication equipment from the device side, but also as well as the infrastructure side. We are very flexible on the hardware integration side, meaning the form factor. We can customize this, including the kind of frequency range that is being used for every industry and every region. So our technologies such as weightless or also LTE-M and NB-IoT work in a typical licensed or unlicensed bands, but we also have the ability to fit those wireless technologies into a specific, dedicated, or a mix of different frequencies. That's very important because a number of our collaborations and partners are utilities, telecom operators, or industrials, some of which have already purchased, already have planned their deployments and their projects in a specific dedicated band. And it's not easy to find a proper technology that is reliable, high capacity, and modern, like the ones we have used, in order to add this to their particular projects. So all in all, we really focus at UBIC on sharing the turnkey solutions we have done and to provide this as a private network expert skill set with our European and overseas partners for them to go ahead with their deployments. And the major part of those use cases are always about energy management in factories, for homes, for residential complexes, for commercial facilities, as well as factory automation for industrials that want to do asset tracking or to increase the level of automation and analytics that they can do. So it's basically about digitalizing those applications, and the key here is to have access to data. So with UBIC and private networks that we render available, then our partners are able to leverage this data in a reliable, in a scaling way, so that they can then add with software integration that we are providing in a flexible way for them to enable their data analytics, AI, big data, and data visualization. So this is really the message to convey today as UBIC, to provide those technology to intersect both wireless networks, IoT, and green power or factory automation. For you to discuss a bit more with us at UBIC of our particular projects you may have, you can just check us out and talk to us. Our website is ubic.com, ubiik.com. I'm Clément. I'm very happy to share this story with you and looking forward to discuss more with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Clément, for your informative presentation. We know that our friends online have received a lot of useful information from your talk. We really appreciate you for taking the time to join us for today's event. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow at the same time to hear about additional great topics. Have a great day.